Hello, I'm Bood FM and welcome to my channel. If you're brand new, thanks for checking it out. Hopefully you'll become a subscriber. If you are a subscriber, again, thanks for checking out one of my videos. Make sure you check out my current series in Manchester Central. We're going into our last season, but that doesn't mean it's not worth watching. It's a lot of fun to make. Go and check it out. Go on. Actually, watch this video first, then go and check it out. Nice one. Right, you've seen the title, you probably know what this is going to be about. It is basically an experiment. I'm going to see what happens when two managers take over from Arsene Wenger, who is an absolute legend. Now, I am a Man United fan, and I spent lots of years, you know, we were battling it. It was just us and Arsenal for years. We had lots of battles, Vieira, Keane, Henry, Nistelrooy, you know what I mean. It was a lot of fun. And at the time you think, oh, I hate Arsenal. But I don't hate Arsenal. I respect them. And they're massive. Look at this stadium behind me. They should be challenging for the league. They should be challenging for the Champions League. They are a massive club. In my opinion, the biggest club in London. The second biggest club, I'd say. Well, they're up there with us in Liverpool, aren't they? Massive club. And they're losing a great manager. I know a lot of fans probably want him to go, want a new change, but honestly, it's when you lose a manager like this, it's not easy. Trust me, I'm a United fan. I know what happens. But I hope things, I really do hope things work out for Arsenal. I've got no bad feeling against Arsenal at all. Now, I saw a website and it had all the names, throwing out the names of who's going to take over. Carlo Ancelotti, Diego Simeone, the ex-Dortmund manager, is it Tuchel? Allegri, is it? The guy from Juve? Yeah, the usuals will probably take over on the game. That bores me. I also read an article of Arsene Wenger who said he'd love an Arsenal man to take over. Now, on the same list, the bookies list, there was 3 Arsenal men. One was Terry Henry. He's a pundit. I'm not doing that. The other 2, though, are in football. One of them is Patrick Vieira, who is a manager. He was a coach at City, player at City. And now he's a manager at New York City. And the other one's Mikel Arteta, who is a coach at City. I don't think Arteta's ready. I think that'd be a mistake. But we're going to see what happens if he gets the job. And we're going to have a look at Vieira, who maybe is ready. He's a legend, isn't he? He loves Arsenal. He knows the club. Do you know what I mean? He was one of the best players ever, really. I loved him at Man United. Top player in his prime. And, you know, he's actually got managerial experience, so we're going to see how he does as well. But we're also going to see how Arsene Wenger does. Now, I've put him in Paris Saint-Germain. There's a little rumour he might go there. I just thought it'd be nice for him to go back to France, go home, finish off his career at a club like that. Well, he's probably going to win the league, but can he win the Champions League? We'll find out. So I've holidayed 1 year into the future. I've used the editor to do future contracts, so people leave, people come in, and we're going to have a look at everyone's 1 year into the future. It should be quite fun. Make sure you smash that like button if you enjoy it. Again, if you're brand new, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you hit the bell next to the subscribe button and you never miss an episode, because YouTube changed the rules and you don't want to miss a Bood FM episode, do you? Hey? Right, I can't wait to get looking into this. I've not seen it yet, I've just holidayed it all, so let's get started. So here we are, it's the 1st of July 2018, Arsene Wenger resigned as Arsenal manager yesterday and he's now become Paris Saint-Germain manager. We'll have a look at him first. And you look at his stats, 68 years old, I think he's got a couple of years left in him easily, at least 4. Should do really, but he's still got amazing stats. He's a great manager and he had a great career at Arsenal. I mean, it's going to be so weird. It's like you realise you're getting old when you've got no Fergie, no Wenger anymore. Do you know what I mean? It's mental. So I do wish him all the best. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what he can do at Paris Saint-Germain. He's got a great team. He's probably, well, he's not probably, he's going to win the French league, but can he win the Champions League? You know what I mean? He's a legend, French legend. So we're going to find out. But let's have a look at his Arsenal history. And here we are on the manager history page for Arsenal. You'll see Mikel Arteta. He's at the top. We'll have a look at him next. Now, he won 3 Premier League titles. I mean, you've got to remember he had the Invincible season when they never got beat. Who ended the Invincible run? Man United. And, you know, he doubles. He won loads of cups. He won loads of FA Cups, didn't he? I mean, let's have a look. 1998, he won the Charity Shield, Premier League, FA Cup, Premier League, FA Cup, Premier League. And then obviously they went quite a few years with not a lot, but he's won a lot of FA Cups over the last few years. He's still a good manager. He got to a Champions League final, didn't they? I think got beat off Barcelona. So, I mean, it could have been a lot worse. It could have been a lot, maybe some fans might argue it could have been a lot better. It's a great career, great manager. And he's going to be a hard act to follow. So, welcome to the 1st of July 2019, and he's still in the job. I think I give him a 2 or 3 year contract. I'm not 100% sure. Let's have a look what he did. Well, he won the league, but he only won it by 3 points. So fair play to Monaco playing catch-up, because normally Paris walk it. He only lost 2 games, drew 7-1, 29. Great goal difference, so goal difference of 62. Let's see what else he did. Right, well, here we are with the transfers, and yeah, they spent 371 million. I carry that with me in my wallet at all times, and brought in 98 million. Biggest sale was Julian Draxler to FC Bayern. Obviously, the Kylian Mbappe deal went through, which isn't his deal. Isn't that in the first season you'll play FM18? He's on loan, isn't he, with a view to buy, is it? Or is it a case of them buying him the next year? But he still had money to spend. He's bought Strootman for 55 million, bit injury prone, isn't he? Zivkovic, top player. Grimaldo, great left back. Oliver, Alberto from Lazio. I mean, he spent big. And he just won the league. It's not about the league, is it anymore for Paris? It's about the Champions League. Here we are, and Arsene Wenger, man, got all the way, walked his group without any hassle at all. Knocked out Porto in the first round. Knocked out FC Bayern, well done in the quarter-final. Knocked out Manchester City in the semi-final. Got to the final and lost it 2-1 to Barcelona. I mean, of all the teams to lose it to, he loses it to Barcelona again. Mbappe scored. Did Neymar play? Had a third game, didn't he, against his ex-team. Luis Suarez scored and Paco. So yeah, it looked even-ish, but Barcelona probably just edged it. This close, man. That'd have been quality if he'd have won that. Now another cup he almost won was the Coupe de Ligue, which I'm assuming, I think, I'm not 100%, so shoot me if I'm wrong, is like the League Cup of France. So he got to the Coupe de Ligue final and got beat on penalties by Monaco. Arsene, man, stop losing these finals. I mean, he's done okay winning the league, but only just. And he's lost the Coupe de Ligue to Monaco. He's lost the Champions League final. I mean, still, shows you he's a good manager, doesn't it? He's got a good team, don't get me wrong, but he's still a good manager. But they got battered in the final by the looks of it. Alberto and Mbappe again. Mbappe is class in this game. Whenever you holiday in the future, he starts picking up Ballon d'Ors for fun. But not all was lost, and he won the French Cup, like the FA Cup in it, France. Beating Monaco in the final, so yeah, got a bit of revenge for the Coupe de Ligue, and this is probably the better cup to win. Finally, Neymar showed up. Got man of the match, scored a goal. Well done. They went up 2-0 up after 9 minutes, and then scored one right near the end. In a very even game, really, so he's not done bad, he's done a double. Now, welcome back to the summer of 2018, and this really is about the guys who take over from Arsene Wenger's long reign at Arsenal. And the first one we're going to look at is probably the most, well, an underdog really. He's an Arsenal player, I wouldn't say legend, but he's an ex-Arsenal man, so he knows the club, he knows what it's all about. And it's Mikel Arteta, he was a good player. I liked him, I thought he was a good player. I was a bit shocked when he went to Arsenal. But I think he did really well there. And he's now a coach, so he's probably a future manager. But it's like when people talk about Ryan Giggs going straight into big jobs. I was like, you've got to prove yourself, in my opinion. A bit like Vieira's doing. But we'll look at Vieira next. Let's look at Mikel Arteta. So he's now 36, the Spaniard. And let's have a look at his stats. And I mean, he's a coach. He's mainly a coach, according to the game. I don't know if he could become a manager. And when you look at his I wouldn't say he's got managerial stats on here, but then when they developed the database, did they really think that Mikel Arteta, who's just a young coach at Man City, was ever going to get linked to the Arsenal job? Probably not. I mean, I don't know what his makeup's like to be a manager, so this is just a curveball on this, isn't it? A bit of a random experiment, because you could put Carlo Ancelotti in the job and you expect him to do well. But I'll be interested to see if he can do well. At least keep the job that first year. And let's just see what he does, you know what I mean? Now, if we have a look here, he was at Everton for ages, wasn't he? I mean, and then he went to Arsenal for 5 years, to be fair. So, yeah, he was there quite a while. But what's he going to be like as a manager? Okay, welcome to the summer of 2019. Now, he's still in the job. Big expectations. I mean, look at this stadium behind me. The Emirates is an amazing place. It's an amazing stadium. Massive club, this. Massive club. Let's see what he did. But do you know what? Fair play to the lad. Do you know what I mean? He finished 4th. He got in the Champions League. And Man City won the league. Boo. But do you know what? Fair play. So he brought in 22 million and he spent 120. So at least they've backed the new manager. I can't remember Arsene Wenger ever getting 120 million pounds to spend. But he has done. He's bought Emmanuel Mamamana. 23-year-old Argentinian defender. He's pretty good. Pione Sisto, I like him from one of my old series. He's a decent player. He's not bad. Ricardo, yeah. Portuguese 25-year-old defensive attacking midfielder, right? I mean, all decent players. None of them, I wouldn't say any of them are world class. So, but he's improved the squad. He's bought a right back, Mario, again, who's good. And another Portuguese lad, defensive midfielder. So, who's he got rid of? Let's have a look. Sorted by value. Callum Chambers has gone to Burnley. He's decent, isn't he? So he's gone. Any other really big names? I wouldn't say so. Not massive names. No. So he's definitely, well, he's improved the squad. Not about anything world class, though, has he? We got 4th in the league. But also he's in 3 cup competitions. Did he get any silverware? The young manager? I don't think so. What do you reckon? Well, do you know what? I'll eat my hat. Hey? The Carabao Cup, the League Cup. They got to the final and he's beaten Manchester City, the champions of the Premier League this year. 2-1 in extra time. Freaking well done, man. I thought Mikel Arteta would do crap. So yeah, they got to extra time. Looks like they edged it in chances. Bang on 50-50. One at New Boys got man of the match. Also scored. Franco Vasquez scored as well. He scored the late winner. That shocked me. When it came to the FA Cup, this might sting a little bit if you're an Arsenal fan, but they got knocked out in the 6th round by Spurs 3-1. 2 goals from Dele Alli. When it came to the Champions League, they got knocked out in the 1st round knockout. They didn't do bad in the group. They got beat off Barcelona twice. Gutted. But they won all the other games. They beat Lyon and Feyenoord twice, which obviously probably put them through 2nd, which meant they got a big team in the 1st round knockout, which was Real Madrid, who beat them, 4-1 on aggregate. Ronaldo scored both goals in the last game. But do you know what? Young manager with not great stats. Freaking massive club on his shoulders. Do you know what I mean? He's had some money to spend, so that's extra pressure. But he's managed to secure Champions League football for a year. He did alright in the FA Cup, even though he got beat by their arch rival. But at least he's won some silverware. If I was an Arsenal fan, I'd be like, well done, mate. Young manager, you can build on that. If this video got loads of views, I might jump 5 years in the future and see who could stay in the job longest. But for now, we're just having a one-shot season of each, just to see how well they do. I'd say, do you know what, right? I'd give Mikel Arteta, if it's a school grading system, for a young manager, B+. Right, welcome back to the summer of 2018. And in this universe, I made sure that Vieira left New York City and signed a deal on the 1st of July with Arsenal. Like I might have said earlier, he was a great player. If you're too young to have missed him play, I feel for you because he was awesome. And even as our arch rival's main man and the battles he had with Keane and all that, you still looked at him and thought, wow, what a player. What a player. And he's the kind of player you can imagine becoming a good manager. He's done his coaching badges, he's done his coaching, he's now become a manager in the MLS. And maybe it is time for him to try something like this. Maybe Arsenal's a bit big, I don't know. But Mikel Arteta got back in the Champions League and won some silverware. How's Patrick Vieira going to do? Will he even keep the job? The pressure's on him now, isn't it, eh? Can't wait to find out. Before we do, let's just have a look at his stats. And they're not bad. Now, I've seen, right, I've done loads of experiments and loads of into the futures. I've seen him become a good manager. I've seen him become an okay manager. So he's got the potential to be good. I've seen him with really good stats. So it'll be interesting. Will he keep the job long enough to develop at Arsenal? Will he get the sack and have to do it somewhere else? I don't know. But as you can see, obviously he was at Arsenal for absolutely ages. What, 9 years of dominance. Went to Juve, Inter, and then finished his career at Man City. Became a director, was reserve team manager. I think he was a coach as well, I'm sure he was. And now he's a manager of New York City in real life, right? And he wants to be a manager. He's a World Cup winner. He's won millions of trophies. Can you translate that though into becoming a top class manager? Come back to the summer of 2019 and Patrick Vieira is still in the job, which is a positive thing. And if you know what you're looking at, you can probably see something very positive. This is a massive club. Massive club. He knows the club. Did he one-up Mikel Arteta? Damn right he did. He only freaking won the Premier League. Arsenal won the Premier League. 2 points to beat Man United by drawing one less game, that was it. They had the worst goal difference as well. But he did it. Hey? That's it, Arsenal. I'm going to ring up Arsenal. Just give it Vieira. They'll boss it. He won the Premier League. Do you know what? Fair play, man. Now let's have a look at his transfers for that season. Now you can imagine Mikel Arteta, he spent a lot of money, didn't he? But imagine Patrick Vieira is a bigger pull. Playing for Patrick Vieira or Mikel Arteta? I'd probably pick Vieira. He spent, what, 50 million less than Mikel Arteta. Spent 72 million. He bought Mustat, I can't see his name. Yeah, he's a centre half and he's good, isn't he? Decent, again, a good player. He bought Shaqiri, oh baby, when you talk like that. He's a decent player, not bad. Playing for 80, that's a bargain. Derrida, attacking midfielder, again, good player. He works hard for your team, 28. And Barimi, is it? From Porto, Algerian. So he's bought some good players. I'd say he bought a bit better, really. Who did he get rid of? Let's just have a look at anyone major. Joel Campbell, Callum Chambers. No one likes him, did he? Jenkinson's got Petr Cech went. I mean, Ospina was his goalkeeper. Don't know, who cares? Freaking won the Premier League. But he didn't win the Carabao Cup, the League Cup, hey? But Mikel Arteta's like that, eh? You can have the Premier League. I won the League Cup. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, he got beat by Man United. Extra time, 3-2. Mata Pogba and Mertens. He's decent in. I've never seen him sign for United though. Scored in the 95th minute. Danny Welbeck scored against United. So did Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. And he got to the FA Cup semi-final and got beat by Liverpool 2-1. Ozil scored. Firmino and Salah, the usual two, scored for Liverpool. Disappointingly, he didn't get out of the group stages, but we've seen who's in his group, Paris Saint-Germain, which meant Arsene Wenger would have come up against them in the group stages, beat them in Paris, and they drew 1-1 at the Emirates. So that would have been emotional for Arsene Wenger. So yeah, that's disappointing. Do you know what? If you win the Premier League and you haven't won it for as long as you have, I think he'd be a freaking... If you want a hero already, which I'm pretty sure he is, he'd definitely be a hero. And yet, I mean, he's probably on here anyway as a legend. But he's even more of a legend now. He's at the top of all legends of legends. Terry Henry, Ian Wright, Tony Adams, Bergkamp. I mean, fair play. I think he's done well. So obviously won the Premier League. Now, he did poor in all the cups, though, really, apart from the semi-final. Didn't he? So if I was giving him a school score, it's got to be an A. Still got to be an A. Won the Premier League. So there we go, that is the end of my little Arsenal experiment with Arsene Wenger, Patrick Vieira and Mikel Arteta. It's just a bit of fun. I know it's not real, but it's nice to see someone like Patrick Vieira, a true legend, coming into the club and winning the Premier League. I mean, he could build on that. I think he really could. And, you know, like I said, if this episode does well, I might go right into the future, see who can do well, see if he can really dominate English football. Can he win him a Champions League, the trophy I think Arsenal deserve? Mikel Arteta, can he build on his League Cup win? If he did really well, he's back in the Champions League, can he build on that and maybe win the Premier League? But I think, you know, for two lads who are probably not going to get the job, they've done well on this experiment. Because you could give it to Carlo Ancelotti and he might just freaking dominate. You never know, do you? So it was just fun to see these guys do well. So hopefully you enjoyed that. If you did, hit the like button. If you're brand new, feel free to subscribe to my channel. Also, don't forget to check out my series if you haven't already. If you haven't watched it for a bit, catch up on it. Hashtag help a bood. Right, I've been Bood. You've been great. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.